JustLatasha made a video which apparently shows the hypocrisy of Asians for using black culture. So I'm going to show you how stupid all of the points in this video are and how you can't claim that somebody's stealing from a certain culture, because if we go down that road, JustLatasha is a huge hypocrite. So I'm going to play this video for you guys and show you how stupid her points are.
Anything that matters, and then we have fun and laugh at the culture, because it ain't that serious, bro. So come over there, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Start this video by giving it a thumbs up. We gotta get into some serious, heavy topics today, and I can already foresee the backlash is happening. Yes, I'm going to generalize. Yes, I'm going to generalize, because you know what? When it comes to a system of oppression...
She claims there's a system of oppression against black people, but guess what? There are no anti-black laws in any Western country, and to what I'm aware of, there's no anti-black laws in any country at all. That means that there is no systemic governmental oppression of black people. What there might be is some anti-poor people laws in some countries, but what that does mean is that it's not directed towards black people. It also affects white people who are poor or Asians who are poor, and therefore there's no anti-black systemic oppression that you claim there is. Guess what? There is a anti-Asian systemic oppression, and that's in the education system. Harvard clearly is one of those universities in the US which discriminates against Asians and prefers black people because they make it easier for black people to get into universities of higher levels because they have a less qualifying rate and Asians have a higher qualifying rate on average. So this sort of systemic oppression, she doesn't care about this shit because she can't claim that black people are oppressed if she does that.
Individuality. We're all a part of the system. Or you're using your individual ass to break them systems down. Now, if you're not in your day-to-day using your individual ass to break these systems down, then you are part of the generalization that I'm going to be speaking about. So, today I need to talk about the anti-blackness in the Asian community. I have a few segments to get through, so I've been on the Grapevine TV for about 3 years. And we used to have this panelist named Carl on the show. And we briefly talked about anti-blackness in the Asian community on one of the panels. I forget which one. And on the panel, he said Asians have this really comfortable spot where they can ride right in between oppression and white supremacy. And more times than not, they can choose the side of white supremacy. They want to, in the words of Daniel Caesar, get with the winning team.
How are non-whites going to go with white supremacy? That sounds so stupid.
There's no logical reason why the Asian community would align with people of color, because in the end, it's just going to hurt them. What I am going to get into is how their culture steals from black culture, while they also simultaneously try to ride under the racism wave, but also participating in the...
Okay, so Asian culture steals from black culture. By that very fucking standard, you are stealing from white culture by living in a country where the constitution is made by a white person. You have a Christmas tree in the background. You are stealing from Middle Eastern culture. Christianity originated from the Middle East. Then you have a TV there in the background which looks like it was a Sony TV, which means that it's stealing from Asian culture. You shouldn't be having it. You're a fucking hypocrite.
The racism wave. What am I talking about? I'm going to just give you an example. There was this Asian woman I used to work with, and we all used to work in like this nightclub together. I was dating this black guy who was working there. We broke up. Big woof. Later on, she found herself dating that very guy. Big woof. Okay, enjoy each other. I don't give a shit. He's a piece of shit. I don't care. But there was a night we were all hanging out after work, and we're drinking, having fun, and I'm cracking jokes, being myself. And this Asian girl, and I've said this on one of my very early vlogs, like when I'm talking about like 2-3 years ago, I've said this before. This Asian girl, let's call her Z, took one look at me and goes, "Damn, I really should call you the N-word right now." What? Now hold up. Listen, partner. I ain't no cheap thrill. You got the wrong one on the right day, because now the entire energy changed because everyone's gonna watch the black girl get angry. The black girl got angry, and it was this thing where the white people around me were telling me, "Tosh, relax, like chill out, like she's just joking." Another black guy comes in, "Tosh, chill out, like what's the big deal? Like she's joking. What's the big deal?" And people.
Yeah, it's just a fucking joke. It's not like the N-word has harmed you in any way, is it? And then these sorts of people like JustLatasha, there's loads of black women like JustLatasha who are going to do sort of racial stereotype jokes against Asians. Like, for example, I'm going to show you what Miss Pat did on Joe Rogan.
Because it's forbidden, it's like a sign of luxury. Like you're drinking rhino horn tea. It's a big thing in apparently some Asian countries. Like with like really wealthy people.
They don't even have dicks in Asia.
They don't?
I mean, I heard them small.
You heard?
So they don't have dicks in Asia, but guess what? No Asian person is getting offended over that joke because we're not fucking stupid and we realise that a joke is not harming anyone. It's not fucking going to kill us. Because black people in general feel like they're being oppressed by the government, they're always on the defensive, and JustLatasha, because she's a collectivist, she's going to assume that Asians are all bad because one girl was about to make a joke.
Came in to protect her from this burgeoning black woman rage that was justifiably about to come out and check her ass. Everybody told me that I was wilding and that I was doing too much and that I needed to calm down. Now she got to walk peacefully out the door after offering to call me the N-word. Here's the thing, sis, just like a bunch of white women, you don't understand. You don't get to ride black dick and then call black women nigger. You don't get to tease that you are...
Alright then, you don't get to use Asian people to make money on YouTube and make an anti-Asian video to make money and then have an Asian company's TV in the background. You don't get to use all those fucking gadgets you have in the background, which are probably made in China. You don't get to have that fucking suitcase, which is probably made in, I don't know, India or something. You don't get to have all that shit, because you're a hypocrite as well.
About to think about calling a black woman nigga. You don't get to about to call a black woman nigga while going home and riding black dick. So here's the thing. Another aspect to her character was that she often performs blackness, and I see this in a lot of non-black people, a lot of Latinx, a lot of white, and a lot of Asian. They do this thing where they perform blackness, where yo nigga, what's up? And they come in with the yo-yo-yos and the Yeezys and playing the Travis Scotts and yo my nigga, I'm about to be. Who are you?
Alright then, you don't get to use a fucking English language because it wasn't made by black people, by that very fucking logic.
Who are you? I can't imagine being so lost in my identity that I adapt to the coolest thing I see and apply it to myself and act like everything's cool. I can never walk into Russia
The English language is part of British culture, then stop fucking using it, you hypocrite.
and be like, what's up? My name is Latasha, and I am here to drink vodka and steal sharks down a boat. Like, I'm not, because who am I? It don't make no sense. And you can tell that how disingenuous their identities and their personalities are, and it's something that is really scary. This brings me into this, like, K-pop subset of music artists. There are these Asian music groups that are coming out performing R&B, performing hip-hop as they understand it, but playing a role. They're dressing in the baggy clothes, they're doing the yo-yos, they're braiding their hair. We're starting to see some certain subsets of Asian communities going in to get these special perms and curl patterns so their hair to look afro. They're adopting black style haircuts, because we know y'all didn't come up with it. I think Asian people have invented and created so many fucking cool things. Everything that we have is made in China, let's be honest. But there is something so sinister about the way they sneakily use and abuse black culture while also being ready at the wind to turn around and call us a nigger. Now, I think a part of why we are afraid to call this out and talk about it is because they've been so nice, right? Like, often, black people are not worried about the Asian community, and white people ain't worried about the Asian community. And this brings me back to the beginning of the video when I said they get to ride right in between, being like, oh, we are people of color who are affected by white supremacy, which is true. But y'all also are so under the radar that black people can't rely on you to help us because y'all won't be here, and white people can almost depend on you to not cause a problem. I remember having another job in Chinatown, and the owners were Asian, and my manager was Asian, and I worked with some Asian other coworkers, and a whole bunch of niggas flying around, whole bunch of yo-yo-yos, whole bunch of Kanye playlists, all this shit that they've learned. And it was so uncomfortable for me because do I argue and fight with all of them? And how would doing that affect my capability here at my job? Would it affect my income? Would it affect my livelihood? Do I need to shrink and be quiet myself to cater to this Asian anti-blackness, this Asian racism?
If they're using black culture, isn't that a fucking good thing? That means they find value in it. So I think what she should really be doing is thanking Asians because they value black culture, but instead she's going to insult them because their race isn't right for that culture. Because they're yellow, as Americans would say, because they're yellow, they can't use black culture because they're the wrong skin colour. That's fucking racism.
That's a black culture, this abuse of black culture, this mischaracterization of black culture. If I cannot talk to you about Trayvon Martin, if I cannot talk to you about Rekia Boyd, if I cannot talk to you about Renisha McBride, if I cannot talk to you about Sandra Bland, if I cannot talk to you about Tamir Rice, if I cannot talk to you about Jay Crawford, if I cannot talk to you about any of these names slain in the name of being black and being black alone, you do not get to say nigga, you do not get to walk around with the yo-yo-yos, you do not get to walk around acting like you're a part of some culture that you are very much...
USA has free speech laws which allow you to speak your fucking mind, and you're going to abuse those laws and try and say arbitrary things that you can't say just because it offends you.
Not. And I know... When shit hits the fan, you will not stand up for me. You don't even have the language to stand up for me. You don't have the knowledge or the wherewithal to stand up for me. So who do you think you are, the audacity to act like you have a place in a spot in our culture? That blows my mind. And this insidious taking, this insidious silent usage, and their insertion of their presence in our spaces is so subtle but so abrasive. This manager, this Asian manager, would only text me in dark skin emojis. Mental flip. Like, why do you want to use dark skin emojis? What does that mean for you? Who are you? And aren't you concerned and worried about that? You are erasing everything you are to be cool? To whom and for what? And black people, we need to unlearn that other people pretending to be us is like this down thing. Like, oh, they get it, they're down. No, they're performing you to be accepted by you while they will not save your life. We need to unlearn that. And he's sexy. I like him when he's a little black.
What do you mean they won't save your life? What is she on about?
I have to learn that real quick for the preservation of black culture. We share our shit with everyone. We get zero in return. Zero. They take...
Yeah, you do. Your fucking music artists, your movies, everything makes loads and loads of money. It just goes to the richer blacks rather than to poorer blacks, and maybe you should blame the rich blacks for that.
Take and monetize and use and abuse while stepping on our necks and suffocating us. They don't get to have it. They don't get to have it because they don't have us. We keep taking all these little instances and we keep brushing them under the rug. When do we get to own our own bodies and our own culture again? When do we get to do that? And I think the Asian community have gotten to ride under the radar for too long, and it was time to say this, and it was time to have this video. And if you're Asian and you feel offended, you're talking to the wrong person. You are the offensive. You are the offenders. And if you haven't personally...
So if your skin colour is not black or white, then you are a fucking offender. Do you realise how fucking racist this is?
Participated in this. Again, your individuality does not break the system of Asian anti-blackness. Talk to your friends and family. Don't talk to me. Lastly, I want to say, I have a Chinese best friend. And
Oh wow, what fucking hypocrisy.
where's this gonna go, right? I love her to death. And I love her to death because she has never performed a personality. She is one of the most unique and interesting and self-assured and mentally clear women I know. So much so that she, from her upbringing, can enjoy hip-hop, but also fully be Chinese, fully be Asian, fully still have her own identity. She teaches us Chinese culture, food, traditions. She puts us on as black girls engaging with her. She puts us on to what she's about, and so she wouldn't even think of saying the N-word. She is so 100% secure and knowledgeable of things that she enjoys versus things that are actually her identity, that she's able to maneuver in colored spaces comfortably and confidently because she's just her. And I get to love her because she's just her, and I get to accept her because...
End of the week, I want to ask you one thing. What is the difference between her and a white supremacist? A white supremacist makes the argument that it is white culture to be an American, it is white culture to have colonized this area, and slaves do not deserve this land because they weren't the fucking colonizers. So, the sorts of arguments that white supremacists makes, what's the fucking difference between what this woman's doing and a white supremacist? The difference is just that because she's black, she gets to get away with the racism.